You probably remember him wagging his finger after rejecting yet another shot in the NBA. But what if I told you that Dikembe Mutombo's biggest impact wasn't on the basketball court? It was in saving lives, building hospitals, and transforming healthcare in Africa. This is the story of a giant, not just in height, but in heart. Born in 1966 in Kinshasa, Democratic Republic of Congo, Dikembe Mutombo grew up in a large family where education was a prized possession. His initial dream was to become a doctor, but fate had other plans. Moving to the US on a scholarship to Georgetown University, he became an NBA legend. However, his ultimate calling went far beyond the game. He never forgot where he came from. One of Mutombo's greatest contributions to Africa is the Biamba Marie Mutombo Hospital, which he built in Kinshasa, named after his late mother. Before the hospital, millions of Congolese had little or no access to quality medical care. Many had to travel hundreds of miles for treatment, and the healthcare infrastructure was in crisis. Opened in 2007, the hospital is a 300-bed state-of-the-art medical center, providing affordable healthcare to thousands each year. Since its opening, over 500,000 patients have been treated. It specializes in maternal care, surgery, pediatrics, and infectious diseases like malaria and tuberculosis. Mutombo poured over $30 million of his own money into the hospital and secured donations from organizations like the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. He once said, "I have saved more lives with this hospital than I ever did in the NBA. This is my championship ring." Mutombo recognized that many in the DRC were dying from preventable diseases due to a lack of early detection. He partnered with organizations to set up cancer screening programs in his hospital, especially for breast and cervical cancer. His advocacy brought modern cancer treatment to the DRC, an area that previously had little access to it. Believing in education as the key to breaking poverty, Mutombo provided scholarships to thousands of African children through his foundation. He worked with Basketball Without Borders, using the sport to inspire and educate young Africans. He built schools and donated supplies to improve education in rural communities. Mutombo actively helped during Ebola outbreaks in West Africa, providing medical supplies and funding relief efforts. He worked with UNICEF and the Red Cross to provide clean water, vaccines, and sanitation projects. His foundation delivered millions of dollars in medical supplies across Africa, ensuring that people in remote areas received the care they needed. He also advocated for the rights of African refugees, raising awareness about the struggles of displaced people in conflict zones. Mutombo collaborated with organizations to help resettle and provide aid to those forced to flee their homes due to violence. It was announced that Mutombo was undergoing treatment for a brain tumor. Despite his condition, he remained optimistic and continued his philanthropic efforts. Sadly, Dikembe Mutombo passed away at the age of 57. His death was met with an outpouring of tributes from the NBA, world leaders, and countless people whose lives he had touched. Former US President Barack Obama said, "Dikembe Mutombo was more than a basketball legend. He was a humanitarian who used his success to uplift others. His impact will be felt for generations." Dikembe Mutombo was a basketball star, but his greatest blocks weren't on the court. He blocked disease, poverty, and lack of opportunity for millions in Africa. Even after his passing, his hospital continues to save lives, his foundation continues to fund education, and his impact will never be forgotten. So the next time you see someone wag their finger after a blocked shot, remember the man behind it, a true history maker in Africa.